Hey guys, today Mad Zach's got a very special tutorial for us on his style of finger drumming. There's a lot of different schools of thought and approaches to finger drumming. I've developed a technique I call the musiago. I use my thumb for the kick, my first and second finger for the hi-hat, my ring finger for the snare, and the pinky. Then I use my left hand to layer in other stuff on top of the beat, like bass, one-shots. Let's look at how I break down a beat. So I want you to gently rock back and forth with your thumb and your ring finger. Your snare is here, and your kick is here. So you just practice going. Once you're comfortable with that, let's add a hi-hat to the upbeat. See how it fits in between the two other sounds? Kick, hat, snare, hat, kick, hat, snare, hat. When you're ready to make things a bit more complicated and a lot more funky, let's try throwing the kick in a very attitude-oriented location. It's right around the 3 ands. You can practice this also without the hi-hat. Try just hitting that hi-hat with your first finger every time you hit another note. I prefer to leave the snare with no hi-hat. And then to bring that funky kick in again like we did before. I'll do it super slow so you can see exactly what's going on here. Up until now, we've only been using our thumb, first finger, and ring finger. But now we're going to be introducing our middle finger, a very critical finger that allows us to get a lot faster and more technical on the hi-hats. So I want you to try doubling up that hi-hat pattern that we were doing in the beginning. Remember this one? If we wanted to bring back that funky kick with the doubled up hi-hat pattern, this same exact groove can get super funky and fresh when you replace that hi-hat with a noise scratch sample like this one. You can actually introduce your third ring finger to create a roll-like effect, also called crabbing in the world of turntablism. Now that you're holding down the groove reliably with your right hand, it's time to pull in some resources from your left hand. I mainly use these two fingers, although I will occasionally pull in a thumb or a ring finger in the case that I'm playing a chord. So let's start the left hand off with something very simple. We're just going to play some whole note pads. And then I also have an additional layer that I can add if I want to do just a 2-note chord. I'm using my thumb to hold down that note that's moving less, while I'm using my middle finger on the left to do something that's a little bit more quick. So the way that I transition seamlessly between these different energy levels is frequently with a build, which I always put on this button here. I'll go from my mellow zone. I'll just start holding down that build, and it'll just keep rising and rising and rising. And then when I'm ready to drop the bass, I'm ready to do that. So now that you're ready to totally burn down the house, try mirroring what your right hand is doing with your left hand. So remember that beat we did in the beginning that was just... I want you to use these first two left fingers to play every time one of these fingers hits, but you're only going to use two on this hand, and you're going to go between these two buttons right here. So whereas this hand is going 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, your left hand is just going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's going to sound a bit like this. I recommend at the end of the phrase adding just this button right here or here. These are my two turnaround buttons. You can also swap your snare sounds. For example, here I have my normal snare, metal clang here. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself and things are getting really wild. This really only scratches the surface of what you can do with finger drumming, but I think it's a great place to get started. I've just shown you my basic idea, the way I lay out my samples, the way to hold your hand, but I'm going to save the rest for next time. Remember, you can do anything if you practice enough, so just keep at it and you'll be playing in your sleep in no time at all. If you want to get sound packs like this delivered to your inbox each week for free, all you have to do is sign up for the DJ TechTools weekly newsletter, and to download this pack that I was using as a demo, just check the link below. Mad Zach here. Have a great day. Over and out for DJ TechTools.